Hey everyone, Andrew here. It's Sunday afternoon. There's a storm raging outside, mad winds. It's the afternoon of Flight Fest, which is where they have 30-something planes flying down the Liffey. Town is packed with people there. And then what they're doing is they're looping back around the city to sort of, head back out again. So if you hear some mad noise, or if indeed, suddenly the camera goes blank, you'll know that the F-16 got it completely wrong and ended up in my back garden. So hopefully that's not going to happen. So rather than me being in there, and of course I was trying to watch it live on the stream that they told everybody to watch it on the stream is down. Twitter is absolutely on fire with people going nuts because they can't see it. So I suppose we'll have to wait and watch it on the news this evening. Anyhow, what am I going to do this afternoon? I was sent a little while back ago a number of liquids from the Wingnuts range. Now, Wingnuts range is the own brand, if you like, of e-smokeireland. It's been around for quite a while. They have quite a considerable number of different flavours, but what I'm going to be looking at now this afternoon is their Select range. Okay, so that's kind of the slightly posher stuff that they do. Now, I've got a total of 8 liquids. So I'm going to start with them. I'm going to do them one by one. Each of them in a carto, on its own, fresh carto, filled with that particular liquid. It's been sitting in the carto for, I filled them about half an hour ago so that they're well soaked. And what I'll do is I'll go through them one after the other. And we'll just see how we go. Now, after a couple of liquids, it could be that my mouth just explodes, with the different tastes. What I'm going to try and do is go with the sort of what I think are the lighter, fruitier ones at the beginning, and then work towards some of the heavier ones towards the end. I have my trusty mug of Lion's Gold Blend tea as my palate cleanser for in between. Fantastic tea it is as well. So what we'll do is we'll go through them one at a time, and with each one I'll give you a quick rundown about what I think about it. It's just my opinion. Taste is so subjective, it really is, but I'll just give you my impressions relative to what it is, the description is for that particular liquid. And I'll also give you the price and what it's available in terms of milligrams, etc. So that's it. On to the first one. Sorry, before we go on to the first liquid, I just meant to say what it is that I'm actually going to be vaping this on. As I said, we're going to be using cartos, low resistance cartos in each case. Every liquid has got its own one, and they're all fresh. I'm going to be putting it onto an Ego C twist and running it at about 4 volts. And then the only other thing, there's a little sort of beauty ring thing which actually goes onto this just to make it look a little bit prettier. That's if I can actually screw it on. There we are. So that'll just make it a little bit prettier. But again, consistent across all of them. Same carto, same battery, and off we go. Okay, first up we have creamed peaches. You can see it here. Wingnuts Cream Peaches. This is 12 milligram. In every case, the bottle has a tip on the inside, so as you can see it here, like this. And then also it's got all the safety information that you require, including the tactile safety sticker there that you can see. Okay, so let's give it a go. Again, low resistance bulk cartomizer, and see what it tastes like. Okay, on the way in, very peachy for a start. There's no question that it's peaches. On the way in, it's quite sweet. You can feel it. On the way out, it's not quite as sweet, which is kind of interesting. Very much peaches. There is a cream part to it, but to me, it's very much peaches. What it kind of reminds me of, and I'm not a big peach eater, but it certainly tastes like that. But it also, there's an element about it where we used to get tinned peaches, and where there was a sort of a syrup in with the peaches, and that kind of gave it an extra little sweetness or something. It reminds me of that. So if you were to get your tinned peaches with a bit of syrup and pop some cream on it, mix it all up, that's kind of what I'm getting out of it. The vapour seems to be pretty good off it. Throat hit, it's fairly mildish. Yeah, it's there, but it's not really sort of, you know, tearing the back off your throat. It's a gentle sort of a throat hit for me. But as a liquid, tastes very, very nice. What they say on the site is some say it tastes like the drink, others say the dessert. Either way, it's fabulous. Yeah, for a fruity vape, this is very nice, and it's not too sweet. You can get it in, let me just check here, 18 milligrams and 12 milligrams, and you can get it in 10 ml and 30 ml bottles. I'll put up the prices. On to the next one. And we have another fruit one here. It's called Wingnuts Select Blueberry Sin. Again, this is 12 milligram. You can see it there. And what it says about this is a delicious combination of blueberry, cinnamon and crumble. Okay, well, let's see what this is like. I've been, you know, interested to try this one because most of these I haven't tried before, by the way, so this is kind of a first time. So let's give it a go. Right, I can get the blueberry. It's not very. It's not very sweet. You know, there is a sweetness to it, but it's almost sort of slightly. It's not quite heading the sour direction either. But it's what I get off it is I can get the blueberry off it most definitely, but it's not overpowering. If anything, the blueberry's reasonably subtle on it. I can get the cinnamon off it. But again, I'm not a big cinnamon fan, but there's just a hint of it. You know, it's like you get, you know, with some of the pastries you get, where there's just a dusting of cinnamon on it. That's what it's like. It's not like a really heavy cinnamon flavour at all. Now, the crumble part, to be honest, I don't really get much of a crumble off that. You know, some of the cookie type ones that you get out there, you know, you can get a real sort of pastry kind of a taste to it, but with this particular one, I'm not really getting the crumble off it. But overall, I mean, it is very pleasant. In this case, the throat hit for me anyway is fairly light. You know, it's similar to the previous one. It's not a real banger, but. Very nice, and this is available in, let's see, strength-wise 12 and 20 milligram. And again, I think you can get it in, let's just see, in 10 ml and 30 ml bottles. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, our next one, now this should be interesting because I've never actually had any success at any of the banana flavours. They usually taste, you know, pretty fake to me. So there we go, Banana Dreamboat. So let's see if I can figure out what this one's like. I hope it tastes like banana. So here we go. That is really, really nice. That's really nice. Okay, the banana is definitely there. There's a creamy kind of thing going on there as well. Sometimes with the bananas that you get out there, it just tastes like, you know, like the really cheap sweets or something, you know, where it's like a manufactured banana flavour. In this particular case, this is a lot more like an actual banana. I mean, this is really, really close. And it has got a cream element to it as well. You know, you've got that sort of creamy feel to it. In this particular case, the throat hit is stronger than the previous ones. And again, there's good vapour off it. Yeah, that's very, very nice. I have to say, I'm surprised about that one because, frankly, I wasn't giving it much of a chance in my mind beforehand. 12 milligram and 20 milligram available, and it's probably the same. Let's have a look here. Available in 10 mil and 30 mil. So, Banana Dreamboat, excellent. Really, really like that one. Okay, the next one we have up. Now this one I have tried before. It's funny, of all the liquids that are out there, there are a couple of flavour types which have really taken off, and one of them is vanilla custard. And you know, it's one of those strange things. There's some very well-known ones out there. There's Grant's vanilla custard, there's Paul's creme brulee, which is, you know, in the same sort of area. You know, there's quite a few vanilla custard type and vanilla tasting liquids that are out there, but this particular one is Vanilla Custard Supreme, again 12 milligram, as you can see it here, Vanilla Custard Supreme, and I kind of know what this one's like, but sure, I'll go through the motions anyway, because it's a while since I've actually had it. It's superb. It is up there with, you know, the other great vanilla custards. You've got a full vanilla taste to it. But it's not just vanilla. I mean, there's some liquids out there like French vanilla and things like that, which for me, there isn't that fullness to them. You know, they're sort of a bit one-dimensional. Whereas with this vanilla custard, it's got a full, you know, it's quite sweet, of course, so is vanilla custard. But the vanilla isn't overpowering in it, and then you've got that other kind of fullness to it. It's not really sort of cream, but you know, that, I suppose, that custardy type of feel to it. Now, does this taste exactly like you know, Bird's vanilla custard? It doesn't really. It's a different thing, but it tastes absolutely bloody gorgeous. Now, it really is. It's top notch. Again, when you actually pull on it and the vapour hits your tongue, there's a sweetness there. You know, it's a really, really nice sweetness. Then you inhale it, you get a very nice throat hit. You know, it's a really decent throat hit off this. Now, it's not a harsh throat hit, but just a very full throat hit. And then when you exhale, that's when all the rest of the flavour starts to come through, and it becomes that big, big sort of vanilla custard flavour. So throat hit's great, vapour is great, taste is absolutely fantastic. And again, as let me just see, 12 and 20 milligram available, and in the same two sizes, I assume, as well, which is 10 and 30 mil. So top notch, absolutely top notch. Vanilla Custard Supreme. On to the next one. Right, next one we have up is Wingnuts Select Chocolate Donut. So here we go, Wingnuts Select Chocolate Donut, 12 milligram. So let's get straight into this one, see what this one's like. It's chocolatey. You're getting the cakey part of the donut. That's certainly coming through, which is very nice. And then you're certainly getting the chocolate as well. Now, I suppose, what kind of chocolate is it? This chocolate, to me, this isn't like a milk chocolate. It's a slightly sharper chocolate than that. You know, you've got dark chocolate and you've got, you know, milk chocolate. This one's kind of somewhere in between. Yeah, it's very, very nice. Let's see what they're saying here about it. Chocolate donut, the taste is in the name really. Please make sure this liquid is steeped for a minimum of 5 days. Well, to be honest, I didn't steep this for 5 days. So how much more it would change, I don't know. But yeah, it is exactly what it says on the bottle. It is chocolate donut, and decent throat hit on it. To be honest, for me, something like that, I would like occasionally. It wouldn't be an all-day vape. I would imagine I couldn't have too much of that. You know, certainly, you know, going back to it every now and again, definitely. But then again, you know, chocolate vapes aren't really sort of for me anyhow. But no, you can tell that it's a full one. You have got the sort of the donutty part, and you've also got the chocolate part. And luckily the chocolate isn't sort of sickly sweet either. And it does sort of taste as though the chocolate is actually sitting on the sort of the donut, you know, on the cake, because you can definitely get the two different levels within it. So yeah, another quality liquid from what I can tell. On to the next one. Okay, next one we have up is called Wingnuts Select Patriots Twist. So here it is here. Wingnuts Select Patriots Twist. And it's a 12 milligram. Now what they say about this is the best of American. Creamy, custardy, chocolatey. Okay, give it a go. I can get chocolate off it. I can get chocolate off it. I can get cream off it. It's not sweet. What else did they say there was? Custardy? I don't really get the custardy, to be honest. What would I say about this? It wouldn't be my favourite of them, I'll say that. If somebody was to give me a bottle of this and say, there you go, have a vape on that, what do you think? I'd probably say, yeah, it's quite nice. But for me, that's all it is. It's quite nice. It doesn't quite match up to the level of some of the other ones. It's, you know, the taste is, it's just maybe just a little bit flat. With most of the other ones, there's a lot going on in there. You can de-layer them. You know, you can figure out the various different elements, and then after that, it's a matter of whether or not they actually combine properly to give you an overall good taste. With this one, it's a bit one-dimensional for me, really. I mean, it's fine, and I'm sure some people out there would really like it, but that one wouldn't really be for me. On to the next one. Right, the next one is called Bacca. T-A-A-I, Bacca, B-A-C-C-A. And there it is there. Okay, so you can have a look at the label. 12 milligram again. What do they say about this? A combination of natural fruit steeped in hot, sticky caramel. It also says this liquid must be steeped for 5 days minimum. Now, I've had these liquids for more than 5 days. I've had them a couple of weeks at this stage, but I haven't steeped them, haven't opened them up or whatever. So who knows? They could. Most liquids tend to get better as they get older, anyhow. So we'll give this one a go. Natural fruit steeped in sticky caramel. It doesn't really. Again, caramel in vapes isn't in liquids isn't really my thing. Overall, I tend to be more sort of tobacco flavors, and that's what I like. But look, we'll give it a go and see what it's like. Swedish on the way in. Sweetish, not Swedish. Sweetish on the way in. It's a good throat hit. It's not very sweet on the way back out. It is fruity, not overly, but it is fruity, and it's a fruit cocktail type of a fruity. You know, it's a mixture. I couldn't say that one particular fruit is winning out over any of the other ones. It's a kind of a, you know, a mixture of fruit where, but it's quite a pleasant mixture as well. The caramel. I've had caramel liquids before that are sweeter than this. Now there's something I'm picking up on this, and I'm not sure if it's caramel or not, because if it is, it's a kind of a more tart caramel. It's not a really sweet caramel. And it's a caramel. There's some of the Rye 4s and, you know, some other ones out there that have got caramel in it. It's reminiscent of it slightly, but not the same. Frankly, I'm slightly confused by this, because you've got that fruit, you've got something else which is kind of caramelly, but not really caramelly, not to me anyway. And what you end up with is kind of weird. It's almost like a savoury fruit. I don't think that's probably not possible, you know. But it is not. There's fruit in there, but put it this way, it's not really a fruity vape. It's one of those ones that I think a lot of people would probably, each person would take different things out of it. And this is just, you know, my opinion. And my opinion of this is that I think it's quite nice. It's not really one for me, again, but then again, as I said before, caramel, you know, doesn't really do it for me in e-liquids. But it's nice. I mean, it's a good liquid. I think, you know, so far through all of these, I've gone through, what, 7 of them at this stage. The one thing that there is with all of them is, you know, they are quality. They don't have some of the liquids you get out there nowadays. And there's loads of liquids coming in from all over the place, and really not all of them are good. And a lot of them are very one-dimensional and very thin and very artificial tasting. And I just can't stand liquids that taste artificial. They really do have to taste as though whatever's in them, the essence has actually come from the fruit or whatever it happens to be. So I would say with this one, it's along the same lines. But again, for me, it's probably not one that I would be buying. It wouldn't be my favourite of all of those. But then again, as I said, you know, this is just my opinion. It could well be that if you do like caramel and if you do like fruit, in that sort of combination, this could be just the job for you. But in my particular case, it wouldn't be. So now we come to the last one, and it's called Wingnuts Select Energon or Energon, probably Energon, and it's 12 milligram. Now I've been sort of Wondering about this one. It's got a funny sort of a colour to it. It's you can probably maybe just about see it there. It's a slightly sort of purpley colour. And what do they say about this? Liquid Energon seems to have a much higher energy potential than carbon-based fuel sources. The electrical energy within the synapses of the human brain are insufficient to generate even a few drops. Right. Let's give it a go. That is really nice. Now, one more go. Right. It's gone and changed on me. From my first pull on it, it tasted almost slightly minty, right? But kind of spearmint rather than you know, normal sort of mint. Then my second go on it, it started to taste sort of a bit more citrusy. So right, what does it taste like? On the one hand, it's almost a bit minty, but I don't think it is minty, but it's got that sort of slightly spearminty sort of feel to it. Then you're getting a kind of a lemon and lime citrusy sort of thing going on. But also in there is a bit of licorice or aniseed or something, but very, very little. I don't tend to like that, but it's like that there's a little hint of it in there. So maybe what it is that the licorice is sort of acting, that's if that's what it is, which I think it probably is. It's acting with the lemon and lime, so you know you've got two completely different ends of the taste scale sort of combining there. And maybe because of that, you getting this sort of a feeling of a bit of mint, you know, a spearmint sort of thing or whatever. Although the more I vape it, the less the mint is there, and the more the sort of lemon and lime, you know, is coming through. But it is not. It doesn't taste of lemon and lime. This sounds kind of all a bit weird, but it's one of those sort of complex tastes. There's definitely citrus in there, and just a tiny bit of licorice maybe. But either way, the combination really, really works. It's a very, very fresh vape. It's not too sweet. Now, this whole thing about human brains, you know, and synapses and stuff like that, I'm not quite sure about that, but all I can say is that it's quite a refreshing vape. It is one that I could imagine that I could go all day on without a problem. Yeah, it's really nice. Now let's just have a look and see what it says here about 12 and 20 milligram available, and then in the two sizes, as I had said earlier on all of them, they all seem to be available in 10 mil and 30 mil. So, very nice. Energon. 2 cups of tea later, 8 liquids later, and I would have to say, I think Wingnuts Select is a very, very good range. Now, they also have the standard Wingnuts range where they've got a lot of these liquids, you know, different flavours, etc. The Select tend to be, you know, Select. They're maybe slightly more complex. Of all of those, what are my favourite ones? I would have to say that certainly the vanilla custard is absolutely superb. there it is there. It is absolutely superb, top class. I would also, what other ones there? The blueberry's nice. The if you like peaches, this is really good. This particular one here. The chocolate, yeah, occasionally. This is the chocolate donut one. That would be an occasional for me, but again, if you're into chocolate vapes, it seems to be a pretty good one. Yeah, of the others, the Patriots, not so much. The banana, that surprised the hell out of me because I really didn't expect to like it, but I do. So there's the banana Dreamboat. So no, it's not. That's the Bak Ta AI. Where's the banana? There's the banana Dreamboat. The Bak Ta AI, not so much for me. That's the fruity caramelly one. And then finally we finished up with the Energon, which I think is a bit of a surprise, and that's certainly one that I'll be revisiting because I like that an awful lot. I think it's important to say at this stage that taste is very subjective, particularly with e-juices for some reason. You know, you can taste a particular juice on one day and you can taste it a couple of days later and forget about the steeping and all the rest of it. You know, it's the same liquid one day, 2 days later you try it and it actually tastes a bit different to you. That's just the way our taste buds work. Also, the difference between one person's taste buds and another person's taste buds are huge. So all I can say is, you know, what I have said here, my thoughts of these particular liquids are my opinion. You know, just because I've said that I don't particularly like one or other of them, doesn't mean that you're not going to. So all in all, Wingnuts Select Range, I think it's very good. It's available at e-smokeireland, the address is up there. And as I said, yeah, you can get them all in 10ml and 30ml bottles. And I think it is probably worthwhile giving them a go. It's always nice to come across liquids that have been well made, you know, and you can, straight away with liquids, you can tend to taste whether they've, you know, they've been constructed properly. They've been done, not just somebody lashing some PG and some VG together, you know, and doing it that way. That being the case, actually, I think in every case here, we're talking 50-50. But what I'll do is I will put it up on the screen, whether or not they are 50-50 or what. But as far as I know, that's what they are. So that's it. Hope that was of some use to you. One of the joys of vaping is trying all these different e-liquids. And certainly there were a few in here which I think are really excellent, and so would be worth a try. So I'll be doing another liquid review next week from another company, and so if you look out for that, I'll catch you then. All the best. Cheers.